It's interesting that NASA, not that I believe a word NASA says, of course, it's a big theater production, NASA. I've got that for years, but I think it's under the control of the White Hats now. It's interesting that they're making comments about a second moon now orbiting the Earth. Like, why are they doing that all of a sudden? It's fascinating. Anyway, nobody's really picking up that story, but we'll just keep an eye on it because there's so many distractions right now. Yeah, that'll have to get a little louder for us to have a look at it. Let's have a look. Let's see. So is the moon. Okay, none of these cards say yes to me. There's a soft yes in that down the road, and it might not have anything to do with Three-Eye Atlas, but down the road, the moon might get removed and or moved, or even information about the moon comes out. But I don't think it's right away. I think it's down the road. And it feels like it's White Hat Alliance either giving us more information about it and or doing the moving themselves. So no, Three-Eye Atlas is not here to remove the moon that I can see. It doesn't look like one of the things it's going to do. Okay, will Canada get a snap election this fall? Lots of talks about that. Lots of Canadians hoping for that. Okay, because man, we need something to shake up that disgusting fellow Carney. And of course, both Cliff High and I got, and other people also got, that Carney wouldn't be around that long. We even thought he'd be gone by, what month was it? I can't remember. It was like months ago. We thought he'd be gone 2 or 3 months ago already. And he's still around. So really annoying, frankly. Let's have a look at, are we going to have a snap election in Canada this fall? Or winter. We can say winter too. Okay, so we've got... things are looking pretty bad here. Yeah, that would be the Carney bunch for sure. Really, a lot of what he's doing is exposing just how WEF Canada is, just how far gone and communist Canada is, just how unbelievably corrupt our government has been. Okay, and I believe that he's being run by the White Hats to do just that, expose really the swamp here in Canada. And he's doing a fantastic job. Carney's doing even a better job than Trudeau. Trudeau did a bang up job on exposing just how despicable, politicians are here in Canada. But Carney, he's even taken it a step further, in my opinion. Okay, and he's almost laughable how obvious he is at just doing the walk of shame. But anyway, here we've got that 6. So he's definitely in cahoots with the White Hat Alliance, and that's exactly, he's doing exactly what they tell him to do. Snap, that's all up in the air. So there's not a yes here, and there's not a yes here either. Okay, so this is interesting. It says waiting, and it's on hold. So I'd say we'd know in the next 2 weeks if it's going to go or not. But it's sure looking pretty right. It's right on the edge, and we're all on the edge of our seats with it. And it'll be literally like right up in the air for 2 more weeks. So we're going to know for sure, but it doesn't look like they've even decided, or if they have, they don't want us to know. It looks like it needs to be a surprise if it's going to go ahead. This card says they have more things to get us worried about. They have more exposures, and they're using Carney, and they're not done with them yet. So everyone's like, we're all just waiting. And if they get these things exposed in time, in the next 2 weeks even, I think we will have one, but it's not a solid yes or a no. Okay, so it's still up in the air. Wow, that's annoying. Okay, lots of annoying things happening. Have you guys noticed? I've definitely noticed. Okay, will Ma'am Danny get elected as New York mayor? Now, let's hear what Trump says about him.
Tommy's photo with the 93 World Trade Center bombing.
Yeah, no, it's a shame. Look, the Mandami thing is it's a disaster waiting to happen. We can't have a communist in charge of a great, supposedly free enterprise, kind of a representative city. So I think it's, if you have a communist mayor, I think it's going to be very tough for him and for the city.
Do you think he should have posted something like this so close to the election?
Oh, I think it's a shame that that particular man is endorsing him and very friendly with him. You can see there's a relationship. He blew up the World Trade Center, right?
And Mr. President,
didn't the man you're talking about blow up the World Trade Center? And he's friends with Mandami?
Mr. President, sticking with New York City, you've talked about the Hudson River Tunnel.
All right. So that tells you what Trump thinks about him or what the Trump brand is on record for saying. So they're saying he's a communist. So is he going to win? Wow. Wow. Woo. Oh, those look like some yeses. I wonder if there's more awakening that New York City needs. I wonder if New York City needs to wake up a little more. Now that's interesting. So it looks like a yes here. Okay. And then all of a sudden it goes on hold. All of a sudden it goes on hold and something else maybe takes our attention. So I wonder if he just gets in or almost gets in and it's looking like he's going to win. And then everything goes on hold for the election. And that could have something to do with an event of some kind that's money driven, that everybody's agreed on. By the way, it looks like he's absolutely part of the Trump team, believe it or not, and is part of the theater. So he's in cahoots with the White Hat Alliance. And if he does get in, I don't think it'll be for long. And pretty soon, some kind of an event, looks like financial driven, sort of steps back or cuts off any of those kind of things. So I think this is just further wake up for New York. And it looks like New York City needs more of that, unfortunately. Okay, because there's a lot of people just not paying attention there in New York. It looks like probably because it's such a big population, you're going to get a lot of normies in that kind of population. But anyway, no, it looks like it's going to certainly look like a yes, either right up into the election and or he does get elected, and then all of a sudden his powers are stranglehold because of some financial event. That's kind of what it looks like there. Okay, so the Tesla, hold on, people, like he is a White Hat Alliance group member. He's working with them, so he's obviously some kind of player in the theater. So keep that in mind, okay? The Tesla videos, when Tesla cars were driving through a graveyard, okay, so these guys put this video up. Let's have a listen to this video. Let's watch it.
So we've all seen this video where the Tesla's driving through the cemetery and there's people showing up on the display, but there's actually no one there. No way. All right, we got to try this. It's close to Halloween. Let's give it a shot, bro. Let's go. All right, so we just pulled into the cemetery. It looks like there's a person standing. What? Oh, no way. Dude, there's nothing around us right now. Oh, what? It looks like there's a person right there, but there's nothing. What the heck, dude? Okay, I'm officially creeped out. It's gone now. Oh, nope, it's back. What is happening? Hey, that was creepy, bro. I'm thoroughly creeped out. We should leave now.
I'm creeped out. I'm creeped out too. Okay, so some people are saying that's a fake video. Let me know if you've heard it was fake or what you think about it in the comments. I'm going to see if it was, first of all, a faked video. Is that are these guys for real or did they fake that somehow? Okay, so apparently the screen that shows you what's going on around your car when you're driving one of these cars And I've seen that before because I've been in those cars, especially Ubers like to use them. So people that are Uber drivers, and I've been in lots of Ubers. When I go to Vancouver, I take Ubers everywhere. And it seems like they do have those kind of screens that would show you if there were people walking on the street or close by. And they're for safety reasons. But, is that true? What those guys were showing us, is that an actual honest video, or did they somehow fake that? Okay, I don't know. I don't think it's faked. Those aren't fake cards, and this is a soft yes. So something about it might have been manipulated, but she's brutal truth. Okay, and then we've got the judgment card. So I wonder if they manipulated it, but in the past they did discover that, and then somehow manipulated the video to make it more clear or something what was happening. But I think what they're showing us did really happen. Okay, so we've got 8 and wow. Okay, wow, 8. Wow, picking up on energy. So it's picking up on energy. That's totally wild. Picking up on energy. So if the energy's still around, it's going to pick it up as a human. Like this is like floating energies. This could be like life force energy moving around. Maybe there's a lot of life force energy in that graveyard and it was picking up on it. This is a spiritual card and they're still kicking around. Maybe there's some disappointed energies that never left even after their burial. Okay. And they're energetically still floating around. Like it's actually what the cards are. So I'm going to say that's true. And it's picking up on spiritual energy that hasn't left. Well, that's absolutely wild. Okay. Try that. If you have one of those cards, go through a graveyard, let us know what happens because the cards are saying it's true. Okay. So we'll just leave it there. That's totally wild. That's totally wild. Okay, I'm mind blown. Oh boy. Okay. Now we're going to look at, so there's a documentary coming out and there's like, we're going to watch this. It's just a minute and 23 seconds. It is a sort of a precursor to the documentary and it'll tell you, exactly what the documentary is about. So let's have a listen.
Of something operating in the airspace over restricted nuclear facilities, and it's not ours.
These are otherworldly things that are performing maneuvers that haven't been seen.
I'll be watching for that one. Okay, but it was posted as, and so Whiplash posted it, Whiplash 347, and also Vel Thor. It was on the Vel Thor channel. Okay, and it's saying underneath the little words Q-Suicide Week, all these question marks. So is this going to queue up Suicide Week? I think is what he's saying, which is kind of weird. So somebody sent me this as a question. So I guess the question is, does this queue up Suicide Week? Is this going to be so much disclosure that a lot of people are going to want to take themselves off the earth plane? I don't quite get how disclosing UFO information is going to, but I don't know because I don't know what they're going to disclose, right? So it is interesting that they're saying this could queue up Suicide Week, right? And we know that Q on the Q boards did mention that there's a Suicide Week or weekend, I think they called it. So, a lot of people committing suicide over some disclosure, I'm assuming, and or something coming out. Okay, so let's have a look at, will this have that kind of an effect? Like, will this shake, these deep state government actors to the core, where now they're taking themselves off the earth plane. This disclosure that's coming out in this video. Okay, let's have a look. Okay. Interesting. So major arcana there. I mean, a lot of them know about it already and they're in on it. I mean, they did take the time to make a documentary. So a lot of people would have already seen what was coming and know it's coming. So it's not going to really surprise. No, I don't think it's going to take people off the earth plane. That's later. So that's in the near future. There's something coming that will, and it looks financial. So financial disclosure, and or maybe the banks crashing, or maybe it's the markets crashing. That's what's going to do the suicide week or weekend. That's where they're going to, like, think about it. Deep staters and these elite deletes. Okay, what do they care about the most? Seems like money, doesn't it? Because money equals power to them. Okay, so I don't think it's going to be about the disclosure. I feel like they already know that's coming. And to them, that's already been exposed. In a way, even putting that trailer out exposes everything. It says there's a whole bunch of stuff we don't know. And even it was even hidden from, and there's all these black projects. Like, that already tells us that most of our conspiracies around UFO and who's actually living here on the earth plane, they're all true. Like, that tells us that already. So I don't think that's the thing that'll do it. I feel like it'll be a money situation that creates, if there's going to be a suicide week or weekend, it's going to be around finances. You bet. And it's not coming right away. That's coming, and it's right sitting there. It could be moment, day by day. We're going day by day on the money thing. Like, I feel like it could be days away. That's going to do the suicide thing. If anybody's going to throw themselves off the earth plane, I'm going to call it over disclosure. It's going to be something around the financial market. Yeah, it's not going to be what's coming out. And it does look like what's coming out has a lot of truth to it, looking at these cards on the top. And it will change a lot of things. Remember this Wheel of Fortune? All of a sudden, it changes so many things. Okay, and it just flips everything right on its butt. I mean, I feel like it will give us a lot of truths, even if it's not the whole picture. Okay. Wow. Fascinating. Okay, now let's look at the Civil War potential. Okay, so a lot of people in the UK are worried that Civil War we're right on the brink of it, just because of the unbelievable things that their governments are up to. In particular, there's the Ireland situation this weekend was just incredibly heated up, okay, because of it's almost like this one situation, the rape of a 10-year-old, which, and I'm not downplaying that, it's heinous, but there's been so many heinous things, but it feels like that put everybody just right over the edge. Okay, and there's always just one thing that'll put everybody over the edge, and there's been so many of those things. Okay, they're just lining up, and how much can these people take? So we're going to look at the UK first. Are they going to create like a kind of a civil war where they take it? And I don't know if I'm calling it the right words, like where they basically take it upon themselves as people living there legitimately to kick out in first their governments, maybe, and or maybe both of these things, and the illegal immigrants. Okay, because that's obviously who's causing a lot of the trouble, right? Most of the trouble actually right now anyway. So we're going to look at the UK, and then we're going to look at North America for civil war. I'm calling it civil war. There might be another better way to put it. Like upheaval that's big enough to look like civil war. Let's say that. Because it's really like it was getting really close in Ireland this weekend, according to what Telegram and X was sharing anyway. And, and if you're on the ground in Ireland, let us know. How did it feel in your community? What were you hearing? I'd love to know. Was your mainstream media covering any of it, or was it all hidden again? Or could we be being exaggerated to and lied to? How bad was it? Let us know in the comments. Okay, so we've got, the Seven of Pentacles. Certainly these aren't, in the past, it's already come to some kind of an emotional crescendo, that says. So there's already been a huge upheaval emotionally. So it's really gotten a lot of people's attention and really triggering them emotionally. All of the news coming out and all of the people being harmed, and in particular youth. And, and not just youth, like these, the sexual attacks are not just to women. They're women, men, children, boys, girls, and even elders. Like, it's just heinous, all the stories coming out. Anyway, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, there's so many other things going on, but that's the thing that's really catching everybody's attention and really creating. So this card in the middle is sort of the general population. And yeah, they're fighting mad. They're definitely fighting mad. They're going to be fighting within their own communities. Some people are fighting for the illegal immigrants, and other people are like within that country, they're fighting for those people's rights. And then other people are fighting those people. And then of course there's gangs of people from those neighborhoods looking around the neighborhoods and chasing off people lurking around, going after their kids. Like, it's just fighting everywhere. So it does look like there's a lot of that. That looks true. Okay. But it doesn't look like it gets all the way. See, this card takes it down a few notches. More deeper truths come out about the world, and everybody's attention's going to go somewhere else. So there's all of these things coming out that'll really, really take everybody's attention and puts this situation on hold. Okay, while everyone reels from some other news here. So I don't think it goes all the way to, it doesn't get more explosive. It's at that point right now, and I don't think it goes past that because something else takes everybody's attention. So we do have events coming up that look like they're going to really change where everybody's looking here. And they'll have to back burner that problem for bigger stuff. Bigger things to deal with. Let's look at the U.S. Potential of civil war. Over, like we saw, like, remember what I said about the Kings movement, the no kings? I said, yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer. Like, it looked like it'd fizzle. And well, they tried to make it into a big deal in Portland anyway. But Portland makes everything into a big deal, just any excuse to rip up the city. But other than that, it looked like it was almost a laughable event. Lots of people showing up in New York, I think it was, and San Francisco, and of course, Portland. Certain places were highlighted, but it was certainly nothing like it was going to, create all these problems in all these big cities. In fact, it was almost really entertaining to watch YouTubers go down and interview these people. I was watching it all weekend. It was my entertainment. So I think I got that one right. Okay, so we're looking at the U.S. Civil War potential between now and the end of the year. Again, just like that UK draw, lots of anger. And now it looks like it's less than it was. So it looked more imminent in the past that would be. And there's still this fighting energy, okay? But it's almost like down the center here, this is interesting. When they find out who's really their enemy, when everyone's going to get on board with a common enemy, it looks like. And it's going to be the government. Okay, and then the movie gets revealed. Okay, and now we've got everybody looking at who's their real enemy here. So some events are leading us to all be looking at the same enemy, and now they're not going to be fighting each other, but it's already at a kind of the crescendo it'll get at. Doesn't get too much past that. And as truths come out about who the real enemy is here, and I feel like that's happening as we speak, and that being, of course, the government and government agencies and agencies funded by governments and, you know, big officialdoms, pharmaceutical companies. You guys know the shtick, right? What I talk about. When they find out there's been a big movie also or a theater playing out to get you to really understand this. Okay, now we've got everybody looking at who's the real enemy here. And I feel like it'll get everybody on page against it. Like this is more of a united and balance everything out once they know about the theater and the movie, which is, I'm hoping is, you know, today sometime, tomorrow. I'll accept it any minute now, okay, because we need it. So I'm visualizing that happens really, really soon. Thanks everybody for watching the world news today. And if you were watching this, if they did it this way, it looks more legit to the regular folks. So our community might have been frustrated with the lead up and how long it took, but they really had to do it this way for people that weren't in any, like they started out vaxxers.
Yeah.
Okay. And now a whole lot of people, even my friends that are what you'd call kind of regular and or just regular thinking, they definitely don't watch videos like this. They're all questioning vaxxing in general. Okay. Because of so much information, but this, whatever's coming out now looks like it'll really tip it over. This is like the tipping point right here. And then this is the breaking of illusions. This card ends the illusion. People won't be able to, they're not going to be able to even argue with you in public that there was anything good about everything that happened here in the whole pandemic lead up and what happened with the vaccine and everything. They're not even going to be able to argue it anymore. So that's what's coming, and that's how big it is. Yeah. It's going to end it. It looks like, but the whole idea is people have to do it for themselves. So the whole idea is they have to see it and then choose to walk away from it. And that's why RFK was saying, and well, if he could have, but that woman wouldn't let him because she didn't want anyone to hear what he was saying about her.
Right.
Why he kept saying he didn't say they couldn't take it, because if they said no, it's not available, everyone would yell and start blaming things on these politicians. They couldn't do it that way. They had to do it. People have to reject it themselves, but they need to be able to, and that's what they're setting up here. The ability to have the information, which should have happened in the first place, so people can make a choice based on the truth about it. Like, and who's going to choose to vaccinate after that? Not a lot. Okay. Unless you're really, really foolish. I don't think you'll say yes to it once all of this stuff comes out.
Right. Right. A few people in the chat are suggesting that Trump didn't flip on this, that I'm the one flipping on this. No, actually, he's flipping on this. If you really pay attention and you parse his words, just last week or 2 weeks ago when we did the show, Janine and I were set aback when he was like, oh, no, Operation Warp Speed was a big success and vaccine companies, et cetera, et cetera. Now he's saying, oh, maybe they were lying to me. Go read his own tweet here on Truth Social. And he says, I want the truth and I want it now. Why not share this information? So he's saying, if indeed this Operation Warp Speed was not as successful as some people thought they were, we need to know. We need to know now. You can go read the rest of his comments there in yellow. So he is setting the stage here for reversal on his first statement of 2 weeks ago, where this was the best thing since sliced bread, basically the best thing in the world, best operation in the world. Now he's saying, oh, well, maybe those guys lied to me, and we need to know if that's the case. That's what I mean about he's flipping or flip-flopping on that comment, or at the very least, opening the door to revisit that, and also saving face by saying, Well, these fuckers were lying to me. I thought we were doing a good job here. They were showing me good data, but clearly by his tweet, he's saying they're not showing that to the public, and I want to know why. So were they lying? Why is Pfizer asking for 70 years moratorium on showing their clinical trial data? That's what Trump is getting at. So, of course, he's now suggesting that there might be something wrong with Operation Warp Speed, which was why we were questioning it in the first place a couple of weeks ago. Okay, let's play this last clip again from RFK on this one here. I want to play this one. Hold on, let me show I'm on the right page. This one here. He raises a good point also. Let me see here. Make sure this is right at the stage. Did I do that right? Are you gonna? Yeah, you're gonna hear this. Okay, hold on.
You can characterize it any way you want. I quoted them today. What I said was accurate. What you said were lies. You described moving the Titanic.
Are you saying that a mRNA vaccine has never been associated with myocarditis or pericarditis in teenagers?
I am simply.
Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I am simply trying to say that the people that you have put on that panel, after firing the entire.
You're evading the question.
No, I'm at.
Yes, Mr. Bennett, you're evading the question, right? So again, a very heated debate, very hard to watch. It's triggering for a lot of people. People in the chat saying Operation Warp Speed was a military operation, perhaps in conjunction with also the accelerated production of mRNA vaccination that has maimed and killed a lot of humans. So that's the part we're talking about. We're not touching the military operation. That might have been successful, but also here in his Trump tweet is Trump is not talking about a military operation. He's talking about the mRNA vaccines and the fact that these manufacturers probably, most likely, lied to him, and he wants to see the data shared with the public at large. That's what he's talking about right now. He's not talking about the military stuff, and neither in Janine and I. We're talking about the mRNA part of Operation Warp Speed. Just to be clear. So again, you can say what you want in the comments, but this is what we're getting at here, and we want clarity on it. And now Trump is saying he wants clarity on it too. So that's a good move. In my book, if you're on Team Human, you want clarity on this. And then eventually we could get to whatever the operation military was happening in the background. We could debate that all we want when we get the data. But that's not what Trump is talking about here. He's talking about those guys lying to him and lying to the American people. That's what we need to get into. Okay, now to make things even worse, Janine, even more weird today, listen to this. Let me see if we can bring this up. Breaking news, Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla now says President Trump deserves consideration for the Nobel Peace Prize for his role in Operation Warp Speed. just when we thought, okay, damn it, we're going to get clarity on this vaccine stuff, we get this guy who many say should be in jail already for lying about the efficacy and the safety of the vaccines, knowing it from their trial data. There's a lot of videos you can go watch on that. Now he's suggesting that Trump should get a peace prize for this. Okay, walk of shame, a code for something else. What is this statement all about, Janine? Let's do a poll on this.
I'm telling you, after looking at the news today, I really, really was craving popcorn. Yes. I really was. I was like, okay, this is so out the park. This has got to be theater because it's so absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Popcorn or a stiff drink, Janine? For the other at this point. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, so what's this comment by Bourla? Walk of shame. Again, like you would think right now with the CDC, with RFK's initiative, these guys are none too happy. They're losing stock share prices. Why would they be nominating Trump for a peace prize? There's something else happening here in the background. What is it? Walk of shame or something else?
Yeah, whoever that guy is, he's not the original or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've been freed from that group altogether. We're free from that group. Okay, they're ended. See that ending card? I feel like this is something he was told, whoever that guy was told to say that. So if you think about it, if the WEF, who have been absolutely proven to be like, if anybody still thinks the WEF's doing good work for humanity, yeah. Let's not bring them on the show ever, just for
Mhm.
starters. Don't let them in the comment section. Anyway, they're just not that bright. Okay, so I feel like they set this whole thing up because now that we know Trump might have been using the whole warp speed, like it looks like a big comm of some kind, and maybe even to set up to allow these politicians to actually be able to take down their stance on, okay, vaccines are available to everybody, but now they're going to be proven to be dangerous. Now they're not going to be available. And they're going to have a really good reason why they're going to be recommending you don't take them, because everyone's going to scream anti-vaxxer. And people have been indoctrinated so long and hard on the vax situation that they'll be clawing in there to get a vax. You know what I mean? So they can't do that. That's just not going to work. They need people to think for themselves. So I feel like the fact that the WEF's now congratulating him says that the demonics want to praise him because he was helping them put out their nasty plan.
It gets complicated, Janine, but it gets even more complicated. This is what I was talking about earlier. You and I did a decode on this the other night. President Trump's administration has authorized hundreds of military lawyers to take on role as immigration judges. When Janine pulled on this yesterday, oh no, it's going to go further than that. That's just the beginning. They're acclimatizing the population to seeing the military here in adjudicative roles for civilian processes, right? That could include this Nuremberg 2.0 and also crooked politicians, all of that stuff that people have been talking about for a long time. So when Burla says Trump might be in it for a peace prize, if he's looking at Nuremberg 2.0 type of setup here with this JAG adjudicating civil matters, is Trump going to win actually a peace prize for bringing that part of the war to an end here? Janine, let's extrapolate on this here. This going more towards Nuremberg 2.0, and that's why he would be actually getting the peace prize here. Or again, there's something else in the background that we still do not see. Let's see what we can glean from the cards.
I think you're onto something with the peace prize. I think you're onto something with exactly how you said it here. Wow.
Somebody says, I hope they have insider access pass memberships for the military tribunals. Yeah, I'd pay to watch those. I'd love to watch that stuff. I'd be watching that all day long, of course. Yeah. All right. Oh shit, Janine. That's wow.
Yeah. Major arcanas and an ace. So yes. I think he's going to be nominated for, or be a big part of, going forward.
Yeah. Wow.
Public trials,
Timing on that, Janine? This fall? Does it start next year? There seems to be a lot of emotional data in October for Cliff stuff, but is it this or is that financial? What time is this stuff?
That's an earth sign card, and it's an advanced earth sign. So the most advanced earth sign is Capricorn. So the time of Capricorn is December
to January
20th,
6th.
to January 20th kind of thing.
Yeah. December to January. Wow. That's quick. Okay, so that's not the blip in October we're seeing. But the October stuff, we could get probably the military involved there too with some of these treasonous charges. All these people are having to testify before Congress now, the Clintons and all these people who now suddenly have the Sicilian flu and are walking around with their defibrillators just in anticipation of these hearings. So that's going to be funny to watch. Okay, so this is a little bit after that. We have to do that for that part first. Okay, fascinating. Now, you mentioned what was happening in Canada. Let me see if I can bring this up on the screen too. We've had quite a few instances here in Canada of extreme violent crimes, breaking into people's houses, killing people, raping children in front of their families, killing their dads in front of their wives, all these things here. It's just horrible. A lot of this having to do with, unfortunately, it appears all of this unchecked immigration. And not necessarily unchecked immigration, but unchecked immigration of people who should have been deported because they were violent offenders. And these people were supposed to self-deport, and Canada admits that they've lost track of 50,000 of them. And they're like, well, what do we do? Well, here, the police chief is telling us exactly what to do here with these criminals when they come to your home to rape your daughters and wives. So let's listen to this clip, how absolutely tone deaf these people are.
Now, before I pass it over to Inspector Fiore and Detective Sergeant Boulay to provide updates on outstanding investigations, let me add this. In the unlikely event that you find yourself the victim of a home invasion, we are urging citizens not to take matters into their own hands. While we don't want homeowners to feel powerless, we urge you to call 911 and do everything you can to keep yourself and loved ones safe until police arrive, and be the best witness possible. This could mean locking yourself in a room away from the perpetrators, hiding, fleeing the home, but don't engage unless absolutely necessary. When we have a weekend like we just had, it's easy.
So there's a big ongoing debate now, since all of these things have happened in the last couple of weeks. The opposition is asking for castle law here in Canada, or the castle doctrine, which basically enables people to defend themselves with force and presumably all the way to death for perpetrators in their house who are coming with weapons. And so that sparked a whole debate. The National Post put out something yesterday. Oh, well, the statistics don't really work. And it shows that in countries and states where they have castle laws, that actually homicides have gone up. And I was like, are you kidding me? They're putting that shit out. And here they're basically saying, oh, just comply and wait for the cops to arrive. Do you know what the response time is where I live, Janine? If I call 911, there's a lot of time before they can actually hit the door here. So this doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make sense.
Unless you're saying mean things to,
yeah,
trans people or something on the street, then it's probably like,
oh yeah. You'll get a ticket right away for that.
Oh yeah.
For sure. And if you're investigating the death of babies during COVID, you're also going to be put on trial for that. Don't you worry. Here in Canada, we got you. All right. So the cops really know where their priorities are. So this is hilarious. I wanted to play this clip. I think it's this one here too. So this is Brian Lilly, of course, one of our reporters in Canada. He says, this is how they wanted to ask it. This is how they want us to act. He says, very funny, but sadly also true. Let's play this clip here. Oh, hold on. I have to reboot that for a second. There you go. There you go.
Hey, get in here. Close the door. I don't want you to get bit by the mosquitoes. So, first of all, thank you so much for choosing my house to rob today. There's so many options. It's a privilege for you to be here. I've got a selection of drinks for you to choose from. Great choice, Fancy Perrier. I like it. Okay, so the kids are upstairs sleeping right now, and if they wake up, it's really going to make this whole experience very unenjoyable for you. So to streamline the process, I've got a few things laid out. I've got a 50-inch 4K for you. I've got a MacBook Air, and I even have a pair of earrings from Peoples gifted to my daughter for her baptism. Really, who needs it more, you or her, am I right? Now, hold on. You look a little familiar. You're the one who took my car last year. I knew I recognized you. I love repeat offenders. So I didn't want to take away the full joy of you robbing my house. So these are just a few items. If you head upstairs to the master bedroom, my wife's jewelry is laid out for you. Take whatever you want. Head downstairs. You'll find my safe wide open for you. Take whatever you want. Now, I'm going to be in the kitchen making myself a sandwich. If you have any questions, feel free to come and join me. What's mine is already yours.
It's kind of funny, but that's really what the cops are saying. And remember last year with the slew of vehicle thefts, the police in Toronto were saying, oh, just leave your keys close to the door. That's all they want. They're going to take your cars. And like, are you kidding me? The backlash they got for that shit. Like, it's just crazy. Now, between the propaganda, like I said, in the National Post article and the police chief here too, like clearly they want you to be victims. They don't want you to be empowered in any way. What the hell, Janine, is that all about? How can they even sell that to the public right now when we have all of these crazy stories of people being raped and killed in front of their family members just in the last 2 months? It's just like, again, is this part of the big de-arming, or is this a white hat op to arm people to the teeth here because something is just around the corner and that's their way, kind of like, how do you say that? Reverse psychology. Is this a reverse psychology trick here from the powers that be and the white hats behind this? It kind of feels too weird to be not that. What do you see?
It looks like some kind of a building or preparation.
Mm-hmm.
And as people the regular folks are starting to, like, the veils are coming down for the regular folks. This feels like a big clarity. They're getting clarity. So that guy coming out and saying that, it really gives you a lot of clarity. Really, like I said that to some of my relatives that never watch videos like this and think I'm crazy. And they actually were appalled. They couldn't believe it. They're just not, like, they're in mainstream, so they're not getting information like that. They wouldn't have seen that video of the guy coming out saying that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're sort of shadow banning all of that kind of information, so people don't know. Yeah, I feel like they're prepping them up. So I guess a bit of a reverse psychology. But I also see with that 3 and what I was getting today. So I looked at it with a couple of spreads, and I got that this is actually going to move the dial because people are going to be so upset. So that's what this looks like here. So it sets the stage for people bringing legal action when people get killed, raped, and their stuff gets stolen because they were told not just to stand back. Legal action against Canadian laws, things like that. This is going to move the dial so people stop complying and push for the castle law. I feel like it'll actually bring us closer to the goal of giving us more sovereignty and freedom and ownership over our homes. And it does the opposite that it appears like they're trying to tell us to do.
Well, okay, so that's good news.
Yeah.
What you're saying is it's going in our direction. It just kind of looks weird right now, and it's frustrating to most of us here. Let me bring up, I'm trying to get this done. I can't get to was it the Globe and Mail? I think it was the Globe and Mail. Okay, let me share this tab with you. I just want to read this portion of it, and you guys can find it on the globeandmail.com. But basically, they were attacking Pierre Poilievre's position on castle law. And the title was, let me see if I can find it, Poilievre's anything goes approach to self-defense is more extreme than the U.S. law, says the Globe and Mail here. So even in the States, there is nothing like the carte blanche that Mr. Poilievre seems to be contemplating here. What is the record of these and similar laws in the U.S.? Did they reduce the number of break-ins, for example? No. In 2012, the Globe and Mail is bringing a study from 2012. Okay, what about 2024 or 2025? For the National Bureau of Economic Research, found no evidence of deterrence, burglary, robbery, aggravated assault, or unaffected by these laws. On the other hand, a report shows that noted we find that homicides had increased by 8%. Okay, which homicides? The homicides of the homeowners or the homicides of the people who are illegally entering your home to maim you and kill you? They don't say here. Like, this article is so skewed. But watch this. It gets even further. It says, no kidding. Take the current case of an 11-year-old child allegedly shot and killed by a Texas homeowner. The child was playing ding-dong ditch, ringing the doorbell and running away. Are you kidding me? That's what they're comparing what's happening right now. First of all, if you're shooting a kid who's ringing your doorbell, you should probably go to jail. Like, that's absolutely asinine. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about people entering your home with weapons to rape and kill your family members. But this is what the National Post, or the Globe and Mail, was putting out as junk here today. I was just like, I was livid when I read that. And of course, they're making Pierre Poilievre look even more right-wing than they've done in the last couple of years. So, okay. Don't get me started. I'm going to do a whole rant on that. Anyways, all right. Guys, well, thank you. Some people agree. Okay, but no, but it's just actually crazy. I'm like, we're gotten to the point now where defending yourself, basically, the people who are raping and killing you have more rights than you in your own home. That's what it feels like right now. And the cops are basically saying, oh, just comply and wait as long as you can. Call the cops so that you can be good witness. Guess what? You can't witness shit if you're dead. And if you're white, like, come on. Like,
by the way, it seems like from every part of society right now, all over social media, the message is just get fucked.
Yeah.
Just let them bend over. Just let it happen. Like,
over.
Unbelievable. And excuse my language, but I'm when you said livid, that okay.
Yeah.
Watching this today, like, popcorn might have calmed me down, but I was like so angry, but hoping that this is theater because it's so absurd.
What was that skit from Eddie Murphy? He was he doing Mr. T? Not Mr. Trump, but Mr. T, the guy with the big chains there. He was going, I'm going to bend over now. And when I do, you guys know what I'm talking about. But it kind of sounds with what Janine just said there.
Oh my goodness. Like,
okay. Hey guys.
Everything from the news is telling you, like, you can't, all the woke ideology and just tippy-toe around everybody. Watch out what you're saying to everyone. And it'd be polite to people invading your home.
Oh yeah. Just give them a drink, Anyways, hey guys, please join me in welcoming the amazing Crystal back to the show. Of course, you can find her new show here on the Rumble and YouTube channel. It's called Beyond Karma. Crystal, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hi, Crystal.
Hi.
What do you make of all this crazy nonsense here in Canada, Crystal?
Oh my goodness. I mean, well done covering it. I'm just back here laughing and shaking my head at all of it. It is a wild show. Absolutely. I tell you, if popcorn didn't upset my tummy so much, I'd be needing a lot of it too right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like chips and guacamole. I'm like,
yeah. Hey guys, if you haven't seen the new Beyond Karma show, go check it out. She's also going to be airing in a new show titled Undecided here, but she's going to be doing. Well, actually, let me share some beans with you here. Some surprises. Let me see if I can get to that deck. Ashala, Crystal, and Janine are now going to be not double-heading, but triple-heading, I guess, the new Psychic Spies series here. So stay tuned for that. We're doing some changes here to the schedule. Lots of new shows coming up and moving some people around across the boards, new opportunities and new shows. So this is going to be really, really cool to have all three of you unredacting individuals here. It's going to be really cool. Man, I sure hope I don't find myself in the hot seat of that one day. That's going to be very invasive, guys. So stay tuned for that. The John McAfee thing, September 15, was just a placeholder for the next episode here, but we're working on that very soon. So a couple of weeks from now, you guys should see the first of this brand new series. And also Ashala and Crystal are going to be hosting a brand new show with a brand new concept. I called it the Crystal and Ashala show here, but title still to be confirmed. So that also is coming up very soon here. And we have a new Pick a Crystal show also with Sunny coming up. So lots of cool stuff here coming up for the fall season. Crystal, are you excited for this show?
I just am a little bowled over at seeing that image and just being, after all of these years, being on with these incredible, powerhouse women that I have mentored under and looked up to for so long, that I am one of the faces there. I couldn't help but be excited.
Well, we're excited to have you. Somebody says the triple threat of Psychic Spies. Yes, that's going to be pretty cool indeed. Those of you asking, Meg still on the show, of course, but she's asked for the next couple of months here to reduce some of the shows that she's on. She's moving, as you know. She's explained that on her channel, on our channel. She's trying to get her new house to get her in order and all that. And she's just overwhelmed. She's completely busy and saturated, of course, with the one-on-one bookings and still doing the daily shows, the weekly shows, the monthly shows, and all that. So we're just trying to move stuff around and give you a little bit more spice here on Beyond Mystic. So anyways, check out the Beyond themistic.net/schedule page here for all of the new details for you guys. And please do welcome Crystal here for all of these new fun shows here coming up. Okay, Crystal, do you have some cards with you there somewhere?
I do.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we can do some old school and you can lift them up for us. But I want you to, we asked the cards earlier about the next 3 months in terms of what it looks like for maybe military tribunals and all that. But I want to go back and ask you for the fall season here, what do we see as a learning curve, as a transformation curve for humanity, generally speaking? Where's the universe bringing us? Are we going to be focused more on these trials, on perhaps the economy going sideways? Are we going to be more forced to look at this three-eye atlas and perhaps ETs in our backyard? What do you see coming up for us here in the fall season for humanity, generally speaking?
Yeah, no small questions. Let's do it for sure. Let me add my cards.
Oh, if you have it. Oh, even better. Great. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm pro now. I've got all the things. I'm going to do my own show, so
yeah.
I'm ready for it.
And you did great on that solo the other day. I watched half of it or 3/4 of it. Yeah, I just came back from work. I was driving back home and I saw it. And I'm like, wow, you did a great show there. You seemed a little nervous, but you did absolutely amazing. How do you feel about it?
Not be nervous, right? I'm showing up for all these incredible people that have been building this community, and but I was excited for that French Canadian boy, for you to check him out. What a brilliant kid, right? Like,
oh, the one who mapped with the star system. That's absolutely crazy, guys. If you haven't seen that too, what's fun about the Beyond Karma show, Crystal is sharing also success stories. We talked about this, where here in the news, we're asked by our audience members to look at negative headlines and trying to decode all of this stuff. And so part of what Crystal wanted to do on the Beyond Karma show was to share success stories. And she had 2 or 3 here that were absolutely really amazing and uplifting. So if you haven't seen it, go check out this new show, Beyond Karma. You're going to be surprised that there's a lot in there for you. And also she takes personal questions dealing with karma. So don't want to miss this show. It's going to be a blockbuster moving forward. All right, Karma, Crystal, what karma does humanity have here in the next 3-4 months?
Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, let's get my cards right here. Let me lay them out and I'll get them. They still want to dance around a little bit for me. Let's see. Well, I mean, I feel like we're really doing the good work. We're coming to the end of some cycles here and karmically completing some stuff, but we're not out of the chaos yet. I feel like particularly over the next 5 months, we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of internal battles going on. There is some road weary experiences coming our way, and I think a lot of burnout heading into the fall here. And yet I feel like we're also going to see a lot of progress that's going to come through. And on the world stage, some reasons to celebrate as well. Like I feel like there is a portal that's opening particularly with this 3-eye atlas that's coming in. And, like Janine was talking about, the whispers in the dark, like Cliff High was talking about, that there is gateways that are opening and information that's coming through to support us during these times, to help us through some of these chaotic nodes. And I feel like by next year, like within the next 9 to 10 months, we're really going to be heading in a new direction here with this Page of Wands. And during this Fire Horse year, I think that we're going to be really working together in a different way. I see, like with this 4 of Wands here, right now, we're really against each other a lot. There's these, 2 sides and multiple perspectives that are happening. But this is a really unified card, and it's the foundation that we're really looking to create in our world. And we got to be, there's more power in numbers. So the more people that we can continue to share this information with and wake up to this and, bring us onto the same stage here, I feel like we're really going to see a lot more of that happening next year.
And Janine, do you want to add to what you see there in the cards also? Do you have supplemental questions maybe for Crystal? How do we get a little bit more out of this reading here in terms of details as to maybe what might shock us in here, or perhaps the us working together part? What does that look like for you there, Janine?
Well, I'm not sure what your thought was on the layout, Crystal.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's just like you.
Okay.
Right there.
So isn't that interesting that down the middle is really positive?
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like the burnouts for us, like the people that have been in this community for a long time and understanding, because we know and we've been every step of the way with the hard work, and some of the breakthroughs are for the regular folks. Lucky them. We are doing all the work.
Yeah.
And they're going to get the rewards, okay? And I guess karmically that means in other lifetimes they're going to owe us.
Wow.
It'll balance anyway. Let's just say it'll balance out. Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't literally think people are going to owe me, but it's going to balance out. It'll come back to us. Let's say that in different ways, because all along the sides there's hard work cards and hard at it. And even that 8 of Pentacles, working hard. We've been working really hard. And then we are almost burning out here because we understand there's been a war, and all the people that missed that, they're going to just catch on when the tribunals get announced, or whatever happens with the 3-eye atlas when it comes along. Maybe it changes the whole direction of things, or just all of a sudden all the stuff comes out, because now we're facing like the idea that there's these others and they've been here all along and they've been here before and now they're back, or whatever's going to go on there. I feel like whatever it is, this late fall, we're absolutely having a breakthrough, even looking at the cards. And the kind of normie community, they're going to luck out in a way, because they get to jump in on without doing all that hard work we did. That's hilarious, actually. But anyway, they'll have their own kind of hard work, because they're going to have to get their minds around things really fast. But that was just the first thing I noticed.
Okay. Interesting. Let me ask another question here. I think you can shuffle again, Crystal. Let me bring up this slide deck here too. Hold on. This one here. So this was interesting. Republicans, let me see if I can remove this, get a little bit more room. There you go. Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene announced they will read the Epstein list aloud in the House floor. Massie stated that he will be protected by constitutional speech or debate clause granting him immunity. That's very interesting, putting a lot of pressure again on the administration here, who, for the most part, again, have been at best flip-flopping on this, at worst deliberately gaslighting the population on this very subject. What's worse, so these guys are saying that, kind of like offbeat, not necessarily in tow with the administration. Now we're seeing this guy. The Epstein victims and survivors speak out for the first time, announced they will release their own client list to expose the elite pedophiles ring cover-up. By the way, these guys were interviewed on a CNN panel, and they were asked live, did you ever see Trump there? Did you ever treat Trump? Everybody said, no. So just by the way, they haven't replayed that clip 24/7 on CNN, but you guys can go find it on Twitter. But so now there's two angles here. And what Cliff was saying was, way back when in the old reports, it was saying that it was not going to come out by officialdom, that it would come out from other sources. So is it the Marjorie Taylor Greenes of the world in the House using immunity clause? Or is it the victims themselves? And how much weight is that going to have, the victims themselves producing a list outside of the adjudicative process? How does that work after that for actually bringing these people to justice. I'm not sure that we like the answer to that one. I'd probably rather see it in the House, but at any rate, we want to see it because we want to force the administration to get along here and get some justice going for a lot of the victims, right? That's what most of the viewers would want. So let me ask you cards on that too, Crystal. Is that part of this work and perhaps success that we might see in the fall, a breakthrough here with this Epstein list, which leads to, of course, some justice, hopefully, soon after that? So let's do a poll on that, Crystal.
Yeah. So are we going to see a breakthrough in the fall on this Epstein list in one side or another here? Like, I mean, it is already, I feel like, a breakthrough that we're starting to hear that no matter what, it's going to come out. Somebody's going to talk about it. Somebody's going to expose it, right?
Yep.
Let's have a look.
And again, I was trying to be diplomatic. I said, I'd bet they're flip-flopping on it. On worse, they're deliberately gaslighting. There is no list. Stop talking about the list. Who is that guy Epstein, right? We've heard it all in the last couple of months. To the extreme, we had, the client list is on my desk. We're going to release it soon. And they brought all these truthers with the first phase 1 of the binders. And then suddenly there was no phase 2. What the hell's happening, right? People forget. Just go back and watch the show. There's been a lot of rhetoric on all of this. All right. What do you see there, Crystal?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's really going to be about the children. There's going to be something like that's going to come forward to do with potentially children on the list or people that have been involved in this from a young age, but something that's been underground, I think, is really going to come forward here. We got 2 2s here. So I feel like definitely with this King of Swords in the center here, within the next even couple of months, over 2 months to 2 years, I think that we're really going to start to see this coming to the surface and being exposed. But I really feel like with this Sun and the 6 of Cups, like it has something to do with child trafficking, especially. Which is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Janine, anything else you want to add or questions for Crystal?
I completely agree with what she got there. I feel like with that Knight of Swords, so the Knight of Swords, he's very swift using his intuition and instinct and force, and he could be considered, but I don't know if Crystal considers this, like her cards are going to work differently than mine. But the way I read that guy is he's like the good military. And then we've got the 6 of Cups over there, and then the 2 of Pentacles in the background. I feel like these guys are all working together. So like what I got was, so this group of women coming forward who are young women and or teens. It sounds like most of them were in their teens. One of them was 10 when her abuse started. But I think the real crime, and not taken away from the crimes done onto them. So sorry, I didn't mean to say it that way. But a deeper crime, like what Crystal said, is that there's infants, children, and everything that was going on at the ranch. And like adrenochrome creating, and like it goes really deep. And Kathy O'Brien's got a lot to say about that. She has an interview with, who's that guy, that really outspoken guy? Alex Jones. Just watched that. And she says it's ugly. We don't even know the half of it, what they've been up to. And I feel like that's really what's going to come out. So all of this posturing with it's going to be these guys and it's going to be that, they're just preparing everybody because what's really going to come out, that King of Swords in the middle, he's truth and integrity and brings justice with his truth. And I feel like it's going to, like, we haven't even scratched the surface of the amount of disgusting stuff going to come out of here. So they're just laying the groundwork, and neither of these might even do it. I don't even think either of these could even be a whole third way that it comes out. These are just all ways that are preparing everybody for what we're really going to see, which I feel like, see that Two of Swords, that's going to take some time, but it'll be absolutely horrifying when it does.
I mean, and it could really take some people. It's really going to take some people down.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's really going to knock some big players out. Yeah.
Going back to the setup here by President Trump to authorize these military lawyers to take on roles for the immigration stuff, are they also I was going to ask you to just pull a clarify there. We could do another poll on this.
Sorry.
That's okay. Are they also, the military, going to play a role somehow in this? Because Janine just said, it could be from another source completely. That's not the victims, and it's not the House representatives or Republicans in the House. Could it be through military terms as well? Let's do a poll on that, Crystal.
I'm going to keep the same shuffle here, and I'm going to pull a few on that. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think even from like 3 different angles here, but that's a big yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a hard yes. Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, it's just like,
That's
what
a
did
hell
I get
yes.
there? It is there.
Oh, yes.
And it's
that's
I mean, you hate to celebrate over any of this, but I think it's going to really be like, I think that they've been feeling like they're kind of sitting pretty, and it's all coming out, and yeah.
Wow. Okay, so let's try to get to a good news story here tonight also. Although this is good news if justice is coming down, whether that's on the vaccine stuff, the Epstein stuff, that's what this community has been waiting for. And that's why we keep asking questions and pushing and trying to get through all the rhetoric and the gaslighting and all that stuff. We want to keep the people's feet to the fire here to make all of this happen, right? So good news story. And I say good news stories. This is kind of weird. I'll read the headline and you'll think, what the hell are these guys talking about? Are they killing babies for these organs or what the hell? So just bear with me for a moment. Hot Mike picks up Putin and Xi discussing organ transplant and immortality. Jen and I played the video yesterday with the subtitles of this going on. And I asked Janine, I'm like, are they like openly discussing like either human trafficking, organ trafficking, child trafficking in order to make these people or these elites live longer? And the cards were like, no, actually, they're hinting at new technologies coming out. And Xi said, oh, yeah, because today when you're 70, you're just a kid. Yeah, Debster, that's it. Exactly. He said that in that interview. So I want you to read on this, the possibility here of new tech, new innovation, or perhaps old tech, old innovation making its way to the public at large here that could bring our lifespan, they were saying that in that conversation, to 150 years old or 200 years old. That's crazy. Let's do a poll on that. How close are we to that? And from what perspective do we have to understand this information? Crystal.
Right. Interesting. And is this out there to entice us into being more open to this new tech coming in? Because I'm sure that there's a lot of pushback for AI and new tech coming in as well. People are freaked out, right? But it can make you live longer.
But here they didn't say if they were taking organs from other people, like dead people, or or if they were growing organs in the lab to the point to where it matches your DNA and you don't have to take rejection drugs like you do today. If you have a heart transplant from somebody else, you have to take these drugs after that so your body doesn't kick it out, right? So was that what they're talking about, or new technology altogether? We don't know. So let's do a poll on this and see how crazy it is.
All right.
So 70 is the new 20. It sounds a lot like the inflation here in Canada. It takes $70 to buy a $20 steak now. All right, what do you see?
Well, interesting. I mean, it very well could be that there's not a lot of like technology cards here, but they very well could be harvesting organs with this heart in here and these these people coming out from the graves here. Something's happening where they're doing some work with some nefarious work for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
However, and they think that they got all the power behind them. They certainly got all the money for it. It's the right now and the future is not looking so hot for this.
For this or for them specifically? Is it a question where the cards are looking at Xi and Putin being able to access this new innovation or new longevity kind of process? Or is this for humanity as the poll? Like, how did you ask the question specifically in your mind to get to that poll?
For humanity in general, I'd say for them specifically, they're if they do it, they're messing with some pretty big karma there, right? And so if they give it a shot, I don't know that it's necessarily going to end well for them, and I don't know that it's necessarily going to end well for us either. But
Janine, is this a calm to where these guys are talking about it? They're really referring to the nefarious stuff, and this conversation blowing out in the open brings humanity to focus on it. We go past the nefarious stuff and then open up the technologies and perhaps new innovation moving forward that actually brings us there without the organ harvesting or organ trafficking. Is that the process? What do you see in those cards, Janine?
Well, so just imagine moving this swords card down a little so it aligns with that one. No, the other way. Like, so now this.
Yep.
Yeah. See, now that's straight across in the now. So that's not in the future. So that's not. So I think you're really intuitive, Jean-Claude. Also, the past is the 9 of Pentacles. We've already been freed from what they were alluding to. So I think they said it. So you look into what all of the things. So see that 7? They planted seeds. So you're going to be like, what are they talking about? Organ harvesting? Oh my God. Right. Yeah. So they're trying to, so wake up call to organ, transplanting and all the stories that are coming out that, like it's a lie that you're brain dead. Turns out that's a lie. Yeah. And they need live people to take the organs from. So when they pronounce you brain dead, that's a bunch of BS. So they could be really abusing that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So likely they are, right, for money. Okay, so
and I did say harvesting from dead people. That's not what I meant. From dying people or people who are clinically brain dead, as you're saying. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Good point, Janine. Keep going.
So they're blowing the trumpets on that. Okay, and trying to move the dial here, move us over to something that's a better way to do it. And the near future is the 4 of Cups, which is so something's being offered. Okay, so it's getting us ready, like Crystal said. Getting us ready to accept something that's not that old way of doing it and not the deep state way, but a better way. We've already been freed from the deep state way, which was going this way that Crystal was talking about. So the past card is what tells me we're not going there because we've already gone past that. We're free already from that. But it right now looks like that. And this is the fear card, and there's a wake up card. So they're raising the alarm for you to look at this and then going to present a different way. Maybe that new technology. So they're buttering you up for the new technology that's going to come out, like what Crystal said. And also you were just totally, it was like intuitively zoomed in on that.
Fascinating. Well, again, like, this is so cool. I think moving forward, humanity, we're just on that cusp, and that was part of the talks that I was sharing with Jay Widener and Penny Kelly on the Wacky Woo with respect to the evolutionary mind and Terence McKenna's work. We're in this birthing canal for humanity right now. We don't know what it's going to look like on the other side. Right now, all we see is the chaos as we're going through the birthing canal. But this is very encouraging, all of this, and also the justice that's being played out here. So I'm very cautiously, but still optimistic here for humanity. And I want to make sure, like, these conversations are had in a way to bring our audience minds also to think about that and to start visualizing and acclimatizing and attuning their energy to what they want that new reality to look like. And if we all do that individually, collectively, we'll be creating this field together, this new cohesive field of our common shared reality. That's why these conversations are so important. And that's why I'm so happy also about the Beyond Karma show, and where Crystal is talking about all these success stories as we're dealing with karma individually and collectively. Also, really good show there, Crystal. I'm really happy for you, and I hope the audience goes and watches your absolutely amazing reads here. Hey, so for people who want to do a consultation with you, of course, they can find you now on the consultation page here on beyondmystic.net. Explain how you do your tarot readings. It's an intuitive tarot reading here. So if I'm booking a session with you here on a consultation page, what can I expect in that 1 hour for the people who haven't booked with you yet and who want to see from your perspective here how you use your intuition, your bedside manner, your intellectual IQ here, emotional IQ here to help people, guide them through this process here? What does that session look like?
Beginning with, I always love to open with a little meditation to ground us in together and to call in any messages that you're meant to be receiving at that time. Everything is recorded. It's an hour-long session, and then I will generally do an overview wheel. Now I don't remember what it's called. The forecast. Yeah, the forecast wheel that Mom does on her Saturdays, the astrological wheel, and get that overview, get that snapshot of where you're at. And I really invite you to tune in with me. And there's a lot of conversation around it. I'm here to get curious about you too, not to just tell you what I see, right? So there's some good conversation, and then answer any questions that you might be coming in with, like, are you curious about how karma is affecting you and your life? Is there, can I be here to support you through what's coming up? And I do have a background. I am a coach as well, and I do have a background of just that I'm passionate about supporting people and always using that intuition that I feel that I naturally came in with and was clearly raised around, fostering that, allowing that to come through, connecting with your guides, with who I'm working with in that, and really honoring that I am a neutral, heart-centered vessel of a receivership and clear communication on your behalf, and for ultimately the highest good of you and the collective. So
beautifully said. Thank you, Crystal. I did a typo there. I put Crystal with a K, and I made a mistake there at the end. But guys, the link is in the description box below. You can find her, of course, at beyondmystic.net. But I want to ask you, Janine, also being part of this family and circle of friends with Ashala and Crystal, why should people book with Crystal? Why is she so amazing? In your view, you've had her also read for you in the past. What would you say?
Well, just that part she said right at the end, that's really clear in her energy. So she's absolutely neutral going in. Mm-hmm. And her heart is like, there's a pureness to it. That there's no agendas, there's no, she has no reason to be there, or the feeling you get is there's no reason other than for your higher good and the good of the universe. And that part comes shining through. Like since she was a young woman, I met her, about 14, Crystal?
Yeah.
14 years old. She was already like that. She was already helping. She was already mentoring, guiding younger people than herself, and pointing out things that were going on in her mom and my own life, which like lots of women are like, so I would have been about 37, maybe 8 when I met her. And like, love life was a shit show, like crazy thing, nothing that was, dangerous for my child at the time, Raven, of course, and or friends, but just stupid for my own life,
Right.
just being like I had a lot to learn, especially in the love life department. And when I brought some of those, when I was talking about them, for instance, in the household, when we were all living together, even at that young age, Crystal would give such like good guidance, like she was smarter in that department than me already, right? So it's like and of course it was the kind of household where with her mom and I being in the household, we were absolutely listening to the children and what they had to say, and giving them a lot of personal power, because we knew I know the wisdom of youth, and Ashella knows the wisdom of youth. So she had a voice in the household, and she used her voice in a fair, kind, and would always come with an approach that you never even thought of in a million years. You're like, what? Like, where did you come up with that? But it was something that would lead you right out of your situation and some clarity. And that was at 14 and 15 when I was living in the household with her. So it's like she's only grown from there. So as far as I'm concerned, she's a national treasure, frankly.
Very good. Well, thank you, Janine, for that glowing recommendation. And I have to say also, I've said it on the show before, Crystal did read for me also with Ashalla and Janine. I was lucky to have the 3 high priestesses read for me also. This was just before the conference, and it was absolutely wild and very poignant and transformative. A big thank you again for the advice you had given me at that time, Crystal. Really appreciate it. So guys, check it out, beyondmystic.net. Go to the consultation page here. If you use coupon code beyondmystic, of course, you'll get 10% off there of your readings with the lovely and talented Crystal. Crystal, I'll give you the honor. Do you have a question for the audience members tonight? We have to give away one of these beautiful pyramids here. We're giving away the Abundance and Prosperity beginner series pyramid here from Carla at Ascension Organized. What do you think? Do you have a question in mind with a easy-ish kind of one-word answer? What do you think?
Right. Oh my goodness. I was like, Crystal, pay attention so that you know the question that you need to ask. I feel like I'm giving you a test. Okay. No.
No. Guys, it's not that easy. I get stumped all the time too. Like it's not easy. We're doing this live show, and in front of me, it's like I don't know. We get stumped all the time. Janine gets stumped all the time. I get stumped all the time.
I don't want to make it so. I don't want to make it so easy for everybody. Like
I got a question.
Okay, let's do it, Janine. Go ahead.
It's easy. It's pretty easy if you're paying attention. How old was Crystal when we started living together?
That's the question I was going to ask.
You guys must be psychic.
Okay, that's the one.
You guys must be psychic. And of course, yes, you guys are going to be part of the new well, we wait for that to populate there. We'll choose the winner in just a moment. While we wait for that to populate, please note, yes, check out the schedule page. Quite a few new shows coming up this fall season here in Beyond Mystic, including this one here with the trifecta, the 3 high priestesses together here for the new Psychic Spy shows. Also a new show with Ashalla and her lovely daughter Crystal here. Title to be determined here, but it could be the Crystal and Asala show. I kind of like that one too. It kind of rings. Maybe we'll do a contest on how to title this one. Or anyways, Asala and Crystal, you guys let me know. But this is going to be a really cool concept show. We'll get to that here in just a moment. We'll share the concept with you guys here in the next couple of weeks, but stay tuned for that. And yeah, so for the pyramid, okay, let me go to the live chat here. Crystal, if you want to do the honors and let me know when to stop the feed, we'll pick a winner there.
And stop.
Stop. And my cursor is on Murdoch 007. Hey, cool. James Bond. Congratulations. Go to beyondmystic.net and fill out the contact form there. And we'll have Carla send this out to you ASAP. And I think I had another one too. No? I think I had another pyramid. Did I have another pyramid? Well, let's do the same one. Or maybe she had two. Let's give another one of these. Do you guys have any other questions? Or Charlotte, do you have something else in mind? I'm putting you on the spot again.
Again. Okay, you guys. I can do it. I can think of this. Okay. What were we talking about? Oh my gosh. Okay. What were we talking about? I don't know.
I'm putting you on the spot again.
We're having too much fun. But I'm like, I don't even know.
Okay, I got one. I got one. Okay, so when Ashala does her tarot readings with you, personal one-on-one, she starts with what? She explains the process here in that hour.
You mean
Crystal, sorry. When Crystal does a tarot reading with you guys on the consultation page, she explained the process here. What does she start with you to kind of set the tone here? So we're looking for that one word answer there in the live chat. While we're there also.
Lúc này Dương Long mới nhớ ra vấn đề mọi người đang quan tâm. Hắn ngượng nghịu cười một cái, đang muốn căn dặn người đi lục soát toàn thành. Bất chợt tôi quy áp giải vài người Hán xông vào trong điện lớn tiếng nói: Khởi bẩm đại nhân, những người này là sơn tặc lưu dân sống dựa vào người ban. Bị bọn ta bắt được thì nói là có đại sự vô cùng quan trọng cần khởi bẩm với công sai đại nhân. Gã nói xong rồi thì nhấc chân lên đá vào mông một tên, mắng chửi. Tên tiểu tử này nói con mẹ nó ra uy hiếp ta. Nó là chậm trễ đại sự, ta làm đưa không nổi. Ta dắt bọn chúng đến cho đại nhân xem. Nếu không có việc gì quan trọng, chắc chắn sẽ chặt hết mấy cái đầu rùa này cho mà xem. Dương Lăng nhìn mấy người Hán đó, y phục mặc trên người vừa giống Hán vừa giống Man, nhưng diện mạo ngũ quan rõ ràng là người Hán. Trong lòng hắn chợt động, liền tiến lên trước nói: Ta là Khâm Sai Dương Lăng, mà các người muốn gặp. Các người có chuyện gì cần bẩm báo ta? Mấy tên bị bắt nhìn lên người Dương Lăng, là nhìn đám quan trái phải vây quanh, lúc này mới tin. Tên dẫn đầu vội vàng quỳ gối khấu đầu nói: Khâm gia đại nhân tài tưởng, thảo dân vương nhĩ cầu nhi, mấy người chúng tôi được thuộc tiểu vương gia điểm hóa, quyết tâm đầu quân triều đình, cho nên âm thầm cứu tiểu vương gia ra ngoài, đưa ngài đi ẩn nấp. Đáng tiếc màn nhân canh giữ kỹ càng, mãi mà vẫn không thoát ra được. Chúng tôi gã còn chưa nói xong, các quan viên đã cùng vây quanh. Chu Nhật Cận xông lên trước nhất, vẻ mặt ửng đỏ, kích động quát: Ngươi nói cái gì? Vương huynh ta được các ngươi cứu rồi sao? Huynh nghe đâu? Mau dẫn ta đi gặp huynh ấy. Vương Nhị Cầu Nhi không biết người này là ai, nhưng dù sao trong nhà này ai nói thì gã cũng phải nghe. Vội vàng ngắt lời, dẫn mọi người ra khỏi đại vương điện, rẽ ngang dễ dọc vòng đến nơi bọn họ trú ngụ. Dọc đường nghe mấy người này nói, bọn họ cũng sơ lược hiểu được tình hình. Thì ra thế tử Chu Nhượng Hồ bị A Đại Vương giả ý mời gọi y đàm phán, dụ y vào trong núi bắt làm con tin. Trái lại, cũng khá xem trọng vị phạm nhân này, hy vọng vơ vét được một món hời từ trên người thế tử. Ông ta cảm thấy những người trong ngục đều là người Man không biết tiếng Hán, cho nên cố tình giết tiền vài người Hán phạm án chạy lên núi đi hầu hạ người. Chiếu theo cách nói của bọn họ, tiểu vương gia đó là người tài học yên tâm, rất biết giáo hóa, thường xuyên nói đạo làm người, đối nhân xử thế cho bọn họ nghe, khiến bọn họ xúc động. Đợi khi Lăng Tiêu Sơn thất thủ, Đô Đô trại lại thất thủ, mấy người này lo sợ, cảm thấy tiểu vương gia này nói rất có đạo lý. Thế là được Tiểu Vương ra điểm hóa, lấy rượu chốt say, màn bình để cứu thoát y ra, sau đó giết chết người man đó cùng thi thể ném đi. Man nhân tuy rằng kính cẩn nghe theo, nhưng không biết nói lời a-dua, xu nịnh. Những người này miệng mồm lò xo, thường xuyên tân bốc A Đại Vương như thần tiên, cho nên rất tín nhiệm bọn họ. Thông qua một phen ủy quyền của họ, A Đại Vương không ngờ chẳng chút nghi ngờ, huống hồ từng phái người lục soát nơi ở của bọn họ, cũng đích thị chẳng có gì đáng ngờ. Vừa hay tin Dương Lăng là Gia Cát Khổng Minh hạ phàm đã lan truyền từ miệng người này sang người kia rồi tuyên truyền đến trên núi. Hai bên đối chiếu, mấy người hắn này cũng nhân cơ hội châm dầu vào lửa. Chuyện Dương Khổng Minh sử dụng ngũ quỷ vận chuyển đại pháp cứu thoát Thế tử Thục Vương như vậy đã lắm quyền. Thấy chẳng ai hoài nghi nữa, mấy người này sợ Tiểu Vương gia ẩn nấp trên núi bị dã thú ăn thịt, và bằng lại lén lút đón về giấu trong hầm nhà. Đám người dân Lăng vừa nghe, vừa đi theo họ vội vàng bước đi. Đến nơi, mấy tên người Hán vội xốc tấm đa cú hôi tanh lên, kéo một tấm ván gỗ rồi gọi to: Tiểu Vương gia, trong giờ đại nhân bọn ta đến đón người mau ra ngoài đi. Một lúc sau, cái tăng chuyển đầu, một gương mặt trắng bệch lộ diện từ trong rộng, nheo mắt nhìn mọi người. Chu Nhận Cận nhìn kỹ một cái, vui mừng hô lên: Vương huynh, quả nhiên là huynh còn sống, trời có mắt thấy. Người đó vẻ mặt thanh tú, cũng có vài phần giống Chu Nhận Cận, chỉ có điều khi sắc hơi kém. Lúc này y cũng nhìn rõ được Chu Nhận Cận, không kìm được vui sướng thốt lên: Cận đệ, mọi người quả thật đã đến rồi. Chu Nhận Hổ ùa ra khỏi động, hai huynh đệ ôm chầm lấy nhau không khỏi nước mắt giàn giụa. Nghe nói Thế tử đã nhiều mạn cảm hóa những người Hán ăn nhờ mang tặng, xả thân cứu người. Không biết Thế tử rốt cuộc đã dùng cách nào để điểm hóa đám phản tặc này buông bỏ đồ đăng lập địa thành Phật. Mấy người cùng đi bộ xuống núi, Dương Lăng vừa đi vừa nói chuyện với Chu Nhận Hổ đi bên cạnh. Đã là ngày thứ 3 rồi, A Đại Vương chạy đến sau Ngọc Bình Đôn thì bị Lang binh bắt giữ. Để đề phòng vạn nhất Dương Lăng đã không áp giải phạm nhân về kinh, trực tiếp chém đầu trình lên kinh thành. Phương Tam chạy đến mẫu trư trại cố chống đỡ, bị quan binh dùng tên bắn chết. Tam hùng tướng đô trưởng man từ nay chỉ còn lại An Nhị là không rõ tung tích. Dương Lăng thiết lập phủ vệ binh ở Kiều Thi Thành. Quan binh và tù nhân dần rời khỏi núi, bọn họ là đám người rời ra khỏi núi sau cùng. Thế tử đã thay nho phục, lúc này không chỉ diện mạo, tinh thần, khí chất cũng giống hệt như Chu Nhận Cận, chỉ là nhìn có vẻ già dặn hơn một chút. Tuổi tác cũng không lớn, nhưng cũng có nét già dặn chín chắn. Hoặc giả là do trưởng tử trong nhà thường xuyên thay Tộc Vương xử lý công vụ, cho nên hình thành tật này chăng? Cũng vì vậy mà Dương Lăng không hỏi gì y, cho đến khi cùng y đi xuống núi, tâm trạng mọi người rất thư thái. Dương Lăng mới giả vờ hỏi vô ý một câu luôn hiếu kỳ trong đầu. Chu Nhận Hổ vẫn cái vẻ mặt nghiêm túc ít cười nói, y nhẹ nhàng vuốt cằm thản nhiên: Cũng chẳng có gì, kể ra cũng phải cảm tạ Công Cha đại nhân. Cái ta dùng để điểm hóa mấy tên sơn tặc không gì hơn là tiền vàng mỹ nữ công danh. Vốn dĩ bọn họ còn có chút do dự, nhưng sau khi đại nhân công hạ đô đô trai, ít nhất ta lại có thêm một sinh mạng, thế là bọn họ lại triệt đại ngộ thôi. Dương Lăng ngạc nhiên tức thì cất tiếng cười to: Thì ra Tùng Vương Thế tử cũng là người dễ gần như vậy. Chuyện từ Châu đã xong. Một trong những người cuối cùng của tam hùng tướng đô trưởng man là An Nhị chạy đến đại bàn khẩu Quý Châu, cũng bị thủ quân bắt lấy, trảm tại chỗ, lấy thủ cấp trình lên. Phản loạn của đô trưởng man bị Dương Lăng lấy thế lôi đình vạn quân triệt để hóa giải. Từ đó cũng khó lòng hình thành lại quy mô tạo phản. Các bộ phận quân đội luận công ban thưởng lần lượt trở về nơi đóng quân. Triều đình cũng hạ ý chỉ chính thức bổ nhiệm Yên Cao Dài làm Tự Châu Lục huyện tuần phủ sứ, tiết chế quân chính, luật phú học, chư hạng sự vụ địa phương. Dương Lăng hứa hẹn với y trong thời gian 3 năm để Yên Cao Tài thống trị một phương. Đợi sau 3 năm hết nhiệm kỳ sẽ phái quan viên thế chức cho y, đề cử y vào kinh làm quan. Dương Lăng và Chu Nhận Hổ, Chu Nhận Cận cùng Tống Tiểu Ái quay về thành đô. Yên tuần phủ tiễn đến một chỗ núi cao. Dương Lăng dừng ngựa quay đầu: Yên đại nhân, tiến quân nghìn dặm cuối cùng cũng phải chia tay. Sự vụ từ châu bận rộn, nơi đây cần đại nhân phí sức cao tâm, mời ngài dừng bước. Yến Cao Tài mỉm cười vái chào thoải mái nói: dạ vâng, thi chức cung tiễn khâm sai đại nhân, thế tử chị vương tử, tống tổng minh và chư vị đại nhân. Dương Lăng khẽ mỉm cười, quay đầu cua roi ngựa quát: chà! Người ngựa đại đội rời đi xa, quay đầu nhìn, Kim Tuần Phù vẫn đứng trên đồi cao đồi tiễn. Đang đi về phía trước, Tống Tiểu Ái đột ngột chỉ về vách núi bóng loáng đối diện sông, vui mừng nói: đại nhân, ngài mau nhìn kìa. Dương Lăng ngẩng đầu nhìn, chỉ thấy một mặt đá xanh như gương, có một chữ đỏ to đùng, hành thư mạnh mẽ có lực: Bình Man Bi. Minh Trinh Đức Nguyên Niên, tháng 10 đã đến. Khâm sai tuần thú đại thần Dương Lăng, Thục Vương Tử Chu Nhường Cẩn, Đô chỉ huy sứ Lý Sâm, Bố chính sử Tham Chính, Bạc Vương Sơn, Đổng La Lĩnh, Lăng Tiêu Thành, Đô Đô Trại, liên tiếp chiến tranh, thế như trẻ tre, đại quân hội sự tại Cửu Tuy Thành. Đứng thiên binh đại tiệp, vi kinh được vạn thế chi hùng đồ dã. Duy trì phong quyền Trường Vân, Nhật Hải Âm Cốc. Đường giữ thủ thư tuyệt đỉnh, dự kiếm một huyền nham. Phù trì vạn táo tinh đồn, man xào cốc vinh tiêu tổ. Vòng Tây Nam trừ di ách tắc, tận tại mộc trung. Thành thiên cổ kỳ quan, thị dụng lạc thạch, dĩ trí bất hủ. Từ châu tuần phủ số yên Cao Tài, ngâm thơ ký sự, lưu thiên nguyên cổ. Đáng khấu tần binh xuất Tiệu Bích, Đồng Lai bệ nghệ tiếp câu trần. Phù tăng nhật xuất Càn Khôn Tích, Ngọc Lũy Vân Đôi hổ báo đồn. Ốc thổ dĩ quy thần vũ cống, Trung hưng trọng tác quỷ phương tân. Hoan hài tùy lực chư văn vũ, thắng quân hồi thì vạn hắc xuân. Quý vị và các bạn thân mến, chúng ta vừa theo dõi hết tập 134 của Ngược về thời Minh. Hẹn gặp lại quý vị cùng các bạn trong tập 135. Quý vị và các bạn đã quay trở lại với Kiếm Về Thống. Trong buổi tối ngày hôm nay, chúng ta sẽ tiếp tục theo dõi diễn biến tập 135 chuyện xuyên không ngược về thời Minh.